All right, week 5 of the best year of my career. And I don't know if you can tell, but man, right now I'm miserable. I'm overwhelmed, I'm defeated. And I really wanted to capture that here in a real way. There's so many things I want to do. I feel like I'm grasping at straws. And a lot of times when I'm on camera, I talk in a certain way. It's almost like I'm a version of myself. And it's hard to be your authentic self on camera. And you have to be really vulnerable too. And it's hard to find that voice here. But that's always something I'm striving to do. I don't want to give people all this bunnies sliding down rainbows, everything is peachy keen, because you know what? Being a musician, going after goals is pretty hard. And right now I feel I have all these things coming at me. I usually like to have a really good video that's structured, talking about all the things that happened this week and all the things I'm working on. And you know what? I just don't have time to do it today. And I'm thinking, well, there's a jam session I want to go to, which I'm absolutely going to right now. I thought maybe I can skip that jam session and just work on this video. But then I have to remind myself, what are my goals and my intentions? My focus this year is on being a musician, on playing music that is more fulfilling to me, on doing things that will advance my careers. There's a lot of different ways to do that. But one thing I wanted to avoid the trap of was becoming a content creator solely to become a content creator. In other words, I'm just playing music because this is something to make content about. Where really, it should be I'm making content as a way to talk about music, and that's what I'm doing. And it's really tricky to be in that mindset of I need to go out and network, meet people, go to jam sessions where I might not even get a chance to sit in, but I need to go out and put that constant effort. It's really tough to do that when you're making content, because if you make content, if you make an Instagram post, a TikTok video, YouTube, whatever, you can automatically, instantly get that feedback within minutes, in hours, and then you feel like you're accomplishing something. And my brain gravitates towards those things. And one thing I've been doing this year is really trying to be intentional with my growth and where I'm going. And that's why I've been journaling every day, reminding myself, reading my past entries. Oh, I want to be a musician. Do this instead. And I might need to spend months networking before anything pays off. And that's okay. If this was easy to do, everybody would do it. And going out and networking doesn't always give you that gratification. I am kind of an introvert and I have to get myself up to go to these jam sessions, but I know it's important. I know for merely the sake of practicing doing something I'm not used to doing, getting outside of my patterns. And for me, when I fall into patterns just over and over and over again, that's where I stagnate. But why I'm also feeling overwhelmed is because I'm just gonna put out this video that has no structure to it, that has no overarching form in music and graphics. Even right now, I'm thinking, I need to start this over and find a way to make it more cohesive. But really my intention is to put something out there and almost have it not be cohesive, not be pretty, not be clean. And I want this to be real. And so many people have talked to me in real life saying, I love your videos because you're talking about things in a very real fashion. It's like you're giving people permission to say, oh, this is hard, this is a struggle. And right now I'm having that struggle. I feel like my focus this year is music, money, marketing, mindfulness. I usually feel like I'm succeeding in 2 of those, maybe floundering in 1, and then maybe absolutely shitting the bed in the other. And when that happens, I just want to give up or just return to old patterns, return to what I knew. And that hasn't served me as well as it should have in the past. And it's time to change that. And that's what this year is all about. When we set forth these goals about these grand productive years, a lot of times we don't realize how there's going to be some tough moments. There's going to be moments where you don't feel like doing it, where there's anxiety, there's stress, there's self-doubt. And that's been going on. I haven't been making as much money as I would like, and I feel a little bit of pressure, which is unnecessary to be producing quality content. But I'm a musician, not a content creator. And also, I think, how can I help other people, other musicians, when I'm making this content? And I think that because I've had so many people come up to me and say, you sound so positive online and you sound like everything's so great. And I want to inspire people, but I also want to give people permission that, man, it can be stressful. There can be anxiety sometimes, and that's okay. Most of us are constructing these shrines to ourselves to portray a character or a better version of ourselves. And that's okay to an extent, but sooner or later it's like you're playing a part and you have to keep up with that facade, and it's exhausting. And it's okay sometimes to be like, I don't know if I can do this. Everybody from the bottom to the top has that kind of self-doubt and anxiety at some point. It's also been a very tough personal time for me. I've had some serious stuff going on with my family. And I will never talk about that because there are certain things that I keep boundaries around. And there are certain things that are more important than music. And that's my family. And I've just been in a situation recently where I was just like, some stuff's hard. And I can't do anything about it. I just have to just let things play out. And it's pretty devastating, but again, there's nothing I can do. And there's no reason to not feel those feelings and say, I'm just going to put it all into the music. But there's also a reason not to let it dominate me and drive me and cripple me. And I feel the pool's on both ends, but I think it's important for me to acknowledge that there's struggle in life. And some days it's just, I don't want to do it. Today is one of those days. Man, it's been one of those weeks. Some days it's hard to get out of bed. I don't want to throw a pity party for myself either, because I wanted to share this as a way of letting other people know. Everybody struggles. Nothing is easy, nothing is perfect. Instead of me worrying about, I need to make a YouTube video like I do every Sunday so I can have it up by Monday morning and have the thumbnail and have the short or the reel to get people in. It's a big process. I don't have time for that today. But instead of being overwhelmed by something and not doing it, or going so hard into that I don't take care of what I need to do, which is playing music, I'm just gonna do it today. And sometimes that's what it is. In order to get good at things, you need to do them over and over and over again. You might make some YouTube videos and the first 20, 50, 100 are gonna suck. But eventually, if I keep doing this a year from now, if I shoot a video off the cuff, it's still gonna be better than anything I can produce, given some time, at my skill set right now. And I think music's the same way. Never going to be perfect. You're always going to want to do things better, but keep the big picture in mind. When you set off on a big journey, it's exciting, but also realize that not every mile is smooth. Not every mile goes to plan, and that's okay. And sometimes you just gotta put yourself out there and iterate. Like I said, throwing darts. Sometimes you gotta throw a dart. Sometimes you gotta throw it looking away because you don't have the option. Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes, you learn, I didn't achieve what I wanted, but I'm going to keep going. When you see these videos that are polished and clean, a lot of times what you're seeing right now, that's how I'm feeling as I'm creating them. That's how I'm feeling as I'm shooting them. That's how I'm feeling as I'm going from the day to day. And I'm learning how to manage that a little bit better. Again, I'm journaling, I'm going to therapy, I'm really working on mindfulness and learning about bending and not breaking, not being this all or nothing thing. And also learning how to prioritize my family, learning how to say, you know what, this is more important than everything else, and learning how to treat people with grace and patience. And the more I have my stuff together, the more I can help other musicians, other friends, other family members. But also, the more I share myself and share that the process is rocky, it also helps other people to know that this process is rocky. And I don't know if you can tell, but my demeanor has changed from the start of the video towards the end. And this is very much what journaling is like for me. Getting my thoughts out, putting it all out there so I'm not carrying that with me. And that might be helpful to you, I don't know. I know it's helpful to me. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert, but I just really wanted to give people a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. Without being too extra, without being too dramatic. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to put something out there that totally flops. If I put this video out and I don't edit it, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Not as many people watch it. Cool. I'm trying to be a musician, not a social media influencer. I would keep on yapping, but I hope you enjoy a little slice of this realness. And I want everyone to mark their calendar from 1 year from the day you're watching this, because a lot can happen in a year. And for me, a lot of things are going to happen in that year. Things are going to be different. But I want you to mark down on your calendar, if you're struggling with something, put on your calendar a year from today, things are going to be different, and then go good after it. It won't be smooth, but you can do it. Please like, follow, subscribe, shoot me a message. I do my live chats usually on 3:30 on Sundays, which I'll be doing this week, 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you enjoyed this little peek off the beaten path. And if you're struggling with something, you're not the only one. You aren't alone. Keep it together out there, guys.